The Senate Finance and Appropriations Committee will come to order. The clerk will take the roll.
You have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We have two House bills that will be passed by for the day at the request of their patrons, House Bill 1513 and House Bill 1434. We also have a block of House bills that are identical to Senate bills that passed the Senate. Those include, and they will be in a block, unless someone would like to take them out of the block. House Bill 1383, House Bill 366, House Bill 906, House Bill 1131, House Bill 1498, and House Bill 275. It's been moved in a yes, Senator Newman. 366 is out of the block.
All right, Madam Chair.
Yes, Senator Barker.
I'm looking for Delegate Jones. Is he here?
I took
Oh, you
it
took
by
it. You
for,
took it by. Okay.
took it by.
Okay. Good.
All right, so it's been moved that the block be reported with the exception of House Bill 366, which is no longer in the block. All in favor of?
One of these two.
1434, she didn't read that one out.
Oh, you didn't read that?
I didn't, yeah. Yes.
But what about House Bill 1434?
That's out, that has been passed by for the day.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is it clear? Okay. All in favor of reporting the bills in the block, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
13 ayes, 0 nays.
13 ayes, 0 nays. The
Madam
block
Chair,
is
would it now be
reported.
appropriate to move to report House Bill 366?
Yes, is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor of reporting House Bill 366, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
12 ayes, 1 nay.
12 ayes, 1 nay. The bill's reported. Okay, next we have a block of 3 that are House bills that are substantially, either are identical or are substantially identical to Senate bills. They may or may not have had, well, let's see. They may or may not have had unanimous votes. And can you go through those, April? Yeah, one by one.
Madam Chair, the first is House Bill 307, Delegate Cox's bill related to Crime Stopper Awards. There is a technical amendment that is different than Senate Bill 931, which was Senator Morrissey's bill. The recommendation would be to report, since it's technical on that one.
So we need to move the amendment.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no, you don't need.
We don't. It's already in it?
already in
Okay,
it.
thank you.
We have to do it
All right.
one time.
It's been moved. Is there a second to report? Second. And seconded to report House Bill 307. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
13 ayes, 0 nays.
13 ayes, 0 nays. The bill's reported.
The next bill, Madam Chair, House Bill 1619, Delegate Helmer's bill, relates to income tax subtraction for low-income veterans with a permanent service-connected disability. This one was similar to Senate Bill, or nearly identical to Senate Bill 456, which was continued here and referred to the Veterans Study Group.
Is there a motion to?
Madam Chair, I move that we carry the bill over and refer it to the Veterans Study Group.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 1619 be carried over and referred to our Veteran Study Group. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
13 ayes, 0 nays.
13 ayes, 0 nays. It's carried over.
The next bill, Madam Chair, House Bill 273, Delegate Von Valkenburg's bill. This bill is nearly identical to Senate Bill 134, Senator Stewart's bill. This is related to school boards, planning time and periods for elementary school teachers. The difference is the Senate bill had the clause, so the recommendation would be to conform to Senate Bill 134.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 273 be conformed to Senate Bill 134. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Voice vote aye. Good. Okay. Is there a motion to report? It's been moved to report as amended. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. Bills reported. Next, we have a number of House bills that are similar to Senate bills. Shall we do those? All right.
Madam Chair, House Bill 1602, Delegate Austin's bill, has to do with the airport fund. It's related to Senate Bill 990, Senator Edwards' bill, which had incorporated Senate Bill 984, Senator Newman's bill. I believe the patron has requested that it be conformed to Senate Bill 990, which was...
It's been moved and seconded that it be conformed to Senate Bill 990. All in favor, say aye. Aye. No opposed? It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 1602 as amended be reported. All in favor, record your vote aye. Opposed, no.
15 ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays. Bills reported.
The next bill, House Bill 1318, Delegate Aird's bill, that has to do with the motion picture tax credit and media-related sales tax credit. It's related to Senate Bill 923, which was Senator Lucas's bill, which extended the date for the credit from 2022 to 2025. There is some difference. Like I said, this is broader, makes some technical corrections about where the tax falls, that it actually falls under the Virginia Tourism Authority versus the Film Office. This one, Delegate Aird's bill moves the sunset to 2027, and the difference again with the Senate bill was that it was 2025, and I believe the delegate wanted to speak to the bill.
Yes, Delegate Aird.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Thank you for the presentation. That's accurate, what's been stated to date. I wanted to emphasize the importance of the extended sunset to 2027. What we have found with this tax credit to date is that sometimes there are entities looking for longer commitments to make, and having the tax credit extended to the 2027 is the preferred sunset. And so I understand that to date, the senator has also conformed her bill to match that timeline of 2027. And so my request is merely that the bill would pass in that form.
Senator Norman.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and I would say to the delegate that several years ago, it occurred to the Senate Finance Committee that we had lots of tax credits and exemption bills that were coming through, not necessarily at the same time, and we made a policy decision that we needed to put a sunset clause on them to coincide them, and it wasn't meant to deter any initiative or that it was foreshadowing that it wouldn't be received, but so we could look at all of them in a comprehensive way to try to get a handle on them. So,
Are there any other comments? Is there a motion? As is? With the sunset of 2027.
I'm sorry, you didn't
Which
hear me.
is
I
not
move that
our
the bill be
policy.
reported with the sunset provision.
I'm sorry, Madam Chairman, I'm obviously sleepy. Which sunset provision?
2027.
Madam Chairman,
Senator
do we
Norman.
realize that then the bills are going to be in conflict? And
Madam Chair.
I know it'll happen, but
Yes, Senator Peterson.
Is this to say, if we pass it with this, are we making it the same as Senator Lucas's bill, or?
Her bill has now been conformed to 2027.
27.
Okay, so that means that we're not going to adopt the Senate version?
Well, the Senate, our policy, I guess the Senate, as it left here, Senator Lucas's bill had 2025, which is the same with all the other bills
Well, that sounds,
that had a sunset.
we'll move to conform it to that then.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that it be amended to have a 2025 sunset date. All in favor of that amendment, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
The ayes have it. Is there a motion on the bill?
Move to report as amended.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded the bill be reported as amended. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
16 ayes, 0 nays.
16
I thank the
ayes, 0
committee.
nays.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 1631, Delegate Edmonds' bill, relates to additional sales and use tax for Charlotte County. It's identical to Senate Bill 224, which was Senator Norman's bill, except that the authority is given to Charlotte County rather than Gloucester. There is the other differences in the other bills that the Senate did afterwards. You made it not apply to the additional tax to the essential personal hygiene products to make it more consistent with coming law.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Senator Ruff.
I would note that the House was taking that amendment off, just for the fun of it, I think. No, their belief is that if the statewide bills, which have gone through 39-1 or whatever to whatever, it's pointless to have it on there, so.
Well, is there a motion then, if you want to add that they don't apply the additional tax to essential personal hygiene products, we would need an amendment? Is anybody making that amendment?
Madam Chairman, just as a matter of consistency, I would move the amendment.
Is there a second? I don't hear an amendment. I don't hear a second, thanks.
You need to turn your mic on, Tommy, I can't.
Move to report.
It's been moved that House Bill 1631 be reported. All in favor, record your vote aye. Those opposed, nay.
13 ayes, 3 nays.
13 ayes, 3 nays. The bill's reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 888, is the Speaker's bill related to gun safes, the sales tax exemption. It's similar to Senate Bill 268, which passed the Senate 39-0, and it has a sunset date of, except that the bill had a sunset date on the Senate side of July 1, 2025, and the selling price is $1,000 or less, versus this bill has a selling price of $1,500 or less.
So there are two issues here. One is, do we want the amount to be $1,000 or less, or do we want it to be $1,500 or less? Given that I think we would want to encourage the purchase of gun safes for the safety of children, I would suggest we keep the $1,500 or less. Right. Right. Then, well, I believe that's in the bill. Okay. But then the question is, again, the sunset issue.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
and I don't really have an opinion on the expense, but it seems like we're going to have the 5-year standard. We want to apply it again, so, for the credit.
The 2025.
Yes, ma'am, 2025, yes.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So we would need to change the sunset.
So I
I
move,
second Senator Chapman.
I move that we amend the sunset to be 2025.
Right. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, now the bill as amended. Is there a motion?
Move to report the bill.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 888 be reported as amended. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
16 ayes, 0 nays.
16 ayes, 0 nays. The bill's reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 486, Delegate Marshall's bill. It's related to additional sales and use tax in Henry County, Northampton, Patrick, Pittsylvania counties, and the city of Danville. It's identical to Senator Norman's Senate Bill 224, except it's given to 5 named localities, and also similar to bills that Senator Lewis and Senator Ruff had. Again, the difference is with the consistency is related to the that it not apply to the personal hygiene products.
Does anyone wish to amend House Bill 486?
Madam Chairman, I would move the bill pass as is.
It's been moved. Is there a second? That the bill be reported?
Marshall.
We need a second.
Madam Chair, can I ask a question before the second? So this
Yes.
takes in additional jurisdictions to the one that was originally passed?
Yes.
All right, I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 486 be reported. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
14 ayes, 2 nays.
14 ayes, 2 nays. The bill's reported. April.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 200. This is Delegate Wright's bill. This is the additional sales and use tax for Mecklenburg County. It's identical to Senate Bill 943, Senator Ruff's bill, except that for that inclusion of the exemption of the personal hygiene products.
Okay, does anyone, I think I'm getting a trend here, but does anyone want to amend it to include the tax on essential personal hygiene items? If not,
Madam Chairman, I would
is
move
there-
that be reported as is.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 200 be reported as is. All in favor, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
14 ayes, 2 nays.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator Hanger.
I just want to make a comment on that if it's in order. I really am voting consistently against these because I think it's maybe penny wise and pound foolish for these rural localities that have limited sales within their jurisdictions to enact a sales tax when it would be much better for us to address this comprehensively statewide, and they could funnel the money through the composite index and come out a whole lot better. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yes.
Madam Chair, can I ask a question?
Yes, Senator McClellan.
So now, do I understand the difference between the House and the Senate version is that the Senate version excluded a tax on, excluded personal hygiene products and food from the tax? Or the bill excluded an exclusion?
Madam Chair,
Charles.
I think that the bills that the committee just reported would add the additional 1% and not exclude personal hygiene products, the result of which will be in those localities an additional 1% sales tax that also applies to personal hygiene products that are at 2.5% under legislation that passed last year. So that would take that to 3.5%.
But are now the House and the Senate versions identical? Okay.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 785, Delegate Watts' bill relating to county taxing authority. It is similar to Senate Bill 588, Senator Hanger's bill, which incorporated bills from Senators Favola, Mason, Lewis, and Locke, and passed the Senate 24 yes, 15 no. It has, again, it's very similar, and the recommendation would be to conform to Senate Bill 588.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator Hanger.
I see Delegate Watts is here, but we've discussed this, and I would support conforming it, and then I may want to offer an amendment after we conform it, but I move that we conform the bill.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded the bill be conformed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Madam Chair, we dealt with the issue of Fairfax County in their referendum, and I've been informed that we don't have the right date in there. You all from Fairfax would know better than I, but was the date 2016?
It was.
Okay, so, Madam Chair, I would move that we change the date on line 409 to 2016 rather than 2018.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we correct the date. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Madam Chair, I move the bill be reported.
So it's been
amended.
moved and seconded, the bill be reported. As amended, all in favor, vote aye, opposed, nay.
Fifteen ayes, 1 nay.
15 ayes, 1 nay, the bill's reported.
That completes the similar bills, Madam
Okay,
Chair.
that completes our similar bills. Now we will be going to hear from delegates who are here to present their bills. These are bills that we don't have a cognate for in the Senate. Delegate Aird.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, members of the committee. House Bill 755 is the next bill I have that should be before you, and I do believe there is a line amendment that I asked be reported.
Yes, Madam Chair and Delegate Air. The line amendment is just to specify that on line 17, the date of July 2019 is July 2019 using the revised data for 2017.
And Madam Chair, if it's okay, I'll explain that amendment with the presentation of the bill. House Bill 755 was introduced at the request of the City of Petersburg. And as it is before you with the amendment provided, it would allow for localities that have a fiscal index score of 107 or higher, or of 107 on the local fiscal stress index at this time, which currently include the City of Petersburg and the City of Emporia, for blighted properties and derelict structures to constitute a separate class of property, local taxation of real property, and would allow those localities by ordinance to levy a tax on those blighted properties and derelict structures at a rate that exceeds the general real property tax between 5% and 10%. Madam Chair, members of the committee, the city currently is in the process of strengthening their financial status, and while the city is on that path to recovery, hundreds of residential properties have remained in substantial disrepair, but specifically derelict structures, and they have obviously been declared inhabitable. The City of Petersburg currently has extremely limited resources to address this problem of unsafe, dilapidated structures that are found throughout our city. And so House Bill 755 would merely state that any tax levy pursuant to such an ordinance shall be imposed upon a determination by a real estate assessor that a property constituted as blighted or derelict structure. The bill also provides that in the City of Petersburg, delinquent tax lands may be sold 6 months after the locality has incurred abatement costs for buildings that have been condemned and constitute a nuisance as a derelict structure and are declared to be blighted. Madam Chair, members of the committee, allowing the city to impose this enhanced real property tax upon blighted properties or derelict structures will also, we hope, encourage property owners to either repair their properties and abate these unsafe conditions. This will also provide an additional revenue stream that the city may use to combat its housing crisis and promote development that will further support efforts by the city to emerge from the financial state that they are in at this time. So I hope it will be the pleasure of the committee to move this bill forward. And I do have representatives from the city here with me if you so desire to hear from them.
Okay. First, let's adopt your amendment.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt the amendment?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded that the amendment be adopted. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed, no. Okay, we have the amendment. Would someone like to speak in favor of the bill? Anyone in opposition to the bill?
Oh, we got somebody.
I don't know.
They're in favor.
So you're in favor? If
Yes,
you
good
could
morning.
briefly tell us that
Good
you're in
morning,
favor.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you for allowing us to speak on behalf of this bill. I'm Sam Pam, Mayor of the City of Petersburg. I'm also joined with other members of our city staff, including the city manager. This bill, House Bill 755, is so important to us because we have over 200 of these blighted and derelict structures that are really inhibiting the city to progress into financial stability. We have a lot of people that's out of state that own these properties, and it's hard to get in contact with them and force them to do what's necessary to make our community safe. It would definitely enhance our city and help in our recovery efforts. And at this time, the City of Petersburg has adopted this information through our council, and we completely endorse it, and we ask you to please pass the bill. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Senator Saslaw.
We had a bill similar to this in the early 1990s that Virginia Beach put in, and I don't know whether the votes changed all that much, but it passed the Senate, I think, 39-1. And I mean, we're grateful that you all took the time to come here, but
Right.
I don't know of any opposition. I don't think there is to this bill. Other than
Thank you.
Jeff.
Can I, no, I have one
Senator
other.
Peterson.
We had, and this is a really good idea. We passed a bill on land value taxation 20 years ago, which Fairfax City has taken advantage of. I know other communities, I think Roanoke just adopted it, which allows you to decrease the tax rate on improvements and increase the tax rate on undeveloped property, which kind of gets at the same issue. So this is a great idea. I'm definitely going to vote for it, but that's another thing you might want to take a look at.
Thank you, Senator Peterson.
Senator
Madam Chair,
Marsden.
Delegate Aird, would this also apply to some of these properties that may be owned by financial institutions because of foreclosure and what have you? They'd be held to the same?
Only if they are currently in a state of disrepair and under the code qualify under the derelict structure section specifically.
Okay,
No,
it's been moved to,
I just had a question.
oh, okay, Senator Hanger.
My question was, are these properties, some of them occupied still, or are they all, they're all unoccupied?
Yeah, these are inhabitable.
Okay.
Senator Hanger, these
'Cause
are not your.
I grew up in a house that probably would have been derelict.
No, I'm.
You just described Stanton. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that.
Cool. Okay. It's been moved and seconded. The bill is amended, be reported. All in favor, record your vote. Aye, opposed, nay.
I thank the committee.
Good job.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. The bill is reported. I just noticed, she's been blocked, but I've just noticed that the Chair of Finance is here, House Finance, so I'll take her bills next. And I'm sorry, Vivian, I just couldn't see you.
I do appreciate the courtesy. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have two before you, in addition to the one that has been appropriately moved as a substitute, and that is you have the 1328, which was reported out of Health and Education, conforming to the Senate version. We are in agreement, I believe it's Senator Boysko who's carrying the Senate version, that because of the details of how the reporting goes when someone has been incarcerated, the issue is who has the responsibility for contacting whom about the transfer of the health records. We are in agreement that by conforming the conflicting versions, we can work this out in a quiet half hour when we find it and as a conference report.
Okay, so you would like, then, you're suggesting we conform your bill to
as I
the Senate bill?
believe that the Education and Health Committee has done. If not, yes, please.
Okay.
That would be with Senate Bill 656, Boysko.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded?
Second.
And seconded, that House Bill 1328 be conformed to Senate Bill 656. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And then is there a bill to report, motion to report? It's been moved and seconded, the bill is amended, be reported. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Fifteen ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, it's unanimous. And you have another bill.
Yes, this is House Bill 734. It has to do with rolling conformity. I understand there is definitely a difference in philosophy on this, but if I may address the approach that's represented in 734. Years ago, we did not have conformity. It was just automatic. And then it became an emergency bill that hopefully would be passed before the end of January so that everyone could get on with their filings, particularly those who are interested in filing early because they're looking for a tax return. And so we, for the last 20 years, have done it on an emergency basis. And sometimes that's gone smoother than other times. And so this is an attempt for a compromise that says with restrictions so that there is a report by the Finance Department on anything that is over $10 million, any amendment that is made by the federal government, that is withheld, but that the rest becomes automatic rolling conformity rather than having to wait for an emergency bill. I have also, in 734, required that we have a 4-year look ahead as to the impact on the budget, on revenues, so that we don't have an anomaly of a year or two that might then escalate in out years. So that is the nature of the attempt to work out a procedure that satisfies both the concerns of the appropriateness on our revenue stream, as well as timely filing of more routine amendments and changes that are made at the federal level.
Other questions for Delegate Watson? In discussing this with staff, we believe, and I don't know what the whole committee believes, but that this is truly a major change, and we have not had time to really review it. So our suggestion would be that we pass it by for the year and focus on it in the interim.
I think that's very productive.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, is there further discussion? And if not, a motion to that effect?
Also move.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill be passed by for the year and that in the interim we focus on it and become more expert. Thank you. We're carrying it over.
Motion carry over.
Yeah, for the year. So all in favor of that motion, please vote aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. You're going to challenge us this year.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. It's going to be a pleasure to continue to work with you all. Thank you.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. Okay. Delegate Rasool, I've just been told that your bill is identical, your bill 378 is identical to a Senate bill 864. We hadn't realized that. I'm sorry that you've been waiting. But because of that, is there a motion to report House Bill 378? It's been moved. Is there a second? And seconded that House Bill 378 be reported. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, no.
Fifteen ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays. Bill's reported. Delegate Hodges is next on the list.
Morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. You have before you House Bill 1262, which comes at the request of Appomattox, Matthews, Middlesex, and New Kent counties to add them to the list of counties that may impose a transient occupancy tax at a rate above 2%, but not to exceed 5%. That additional tax goes to tourism and typically not for tax increases, but these are the folks that come, spend their money and go home. So it's.
Are there any questions
Really
for the
simple.
delegate? This is consistent with what we've been doing.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator Peterson.
I support the bill, but is this a bill that's going to become moot, assuming we pass the equalization? Since we're going to strike out all these identified counties?
I suppose it depends on how it's all phrased in that bill.
I'm not sure, Senator.
Well, I would simply say, not to belabor the point, but you're joining a long list of counties that will become moot if we just simply pass the equalization bill. All right.
Yeah, Connor?
Madam Chair and Senator Peterson, that's correct. Under the terms of the conformed version of Senator Hanger's bill, Delegate Watts's bill that the committee just reported, every county would be able to go up to 5%, but there isn't a conflict in the sense that, you know, adding these counties, if that bill were to change or not pass, then.
Okay, is there, I don't think I have a motion on the bill. Is there a motion on the move and seconded to report? All in favor, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Fifteen ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays. The bill's reported.
Thank you.
Delegate Adams.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. I'm here to present House Bill 1023. This was reported uncontested from the Judiciary Committee to reported and referred to this committee. It is substantially the same as Senate Bill 730, Senator McClellan's legislation that is pending before the Courts of Justice Committee in the House. Essentially, this is the recommendation of the Virginia Criminal Justice Conference, which was a consensus view on how police should record custodial interrogations in their criminal investigations.
Delegate, we have a difficulty in that we got a very late FIS on this bill.
Yes.
Very late. And I think we're going to need to put the clause on it, but I wouldn't take that as hostility. It's just we have to be able to look at this. So is there a motion to put the clause on?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded the clause be put on. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, it's got the clause, sorry.
Right.
And is there a motion on the bill? It's been moved and seconded that the bill is amended be reported.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
is this now the same version that we passed out of the Senate? No.
April.
Madam Chair, Senator Peterson, the difference is the original bill did not come to the committee because there was not a FIS that had an impact that was posted at the time.
Okay, further question. This was, I believe it was Suravel's bill on the Senate side?
Senator McClellan's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well.
Senator Peterson, yes.
So are we now matched up in terms of verbiage and content?
If my recollection is correct, the Judiciary Committee conformed my bill back to the original language. The bill started off identical. There was a small grammatical change made in the House, but it doesn't affect the substance of the bill. I think the version that you passed out just removed those changes that were made in the House. And,
okay, so this is what we passed then?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
I'm fine. All right.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Need a motion to report as amended. It's moved in second. Okay. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Fifteen ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays. Bill's reported.
Thank you, Chairman.
Delegate Kahar.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. I have House Bill 1100. House Bill 1100 would implement several recommendations from a 2019 JLARC review of the Office of the Inspector General. The intent is to clarify OSIG's role as the state's lead agency to investigate government waste, fraud, and abuse, and provide meaningful oversight of DBHDS facilities. The idea behind creating the agency was to have a centralized, independent statewide inspector general office that could bring expertise and independence to the table to do investigations. This was the vision of OSIG's role when the agency was created 8 years ago. However, implementation has fallen short of the original goals. And so this bill is a result of the 2019 JLARC report. Justin Brown, a member of JLARC staff, is here and will provide more detail on the specific of the bill if senators have questions.
Okay. Does anyone have a question for the JLARC staff or the delegate? I have a question for staff. It does have a $500,000 fiscal impact. Does it need the clause? Or is it?
Madam Chair, that is the will of the committee. If you would like to be safe to make sure it's included in the budget, you could add the clause.
It's not in our budget.
It is not currently on there.
Because we didn't have it. Yes.
It is a recommendation.
Delegate Carr.
Madam Chairman, if I may, the fiscal impact didn't come out in the beginning, and evidently after a while, the DBHDS had concerns that if the number of complaints continued as they have been recently, then they might need extra staff. But I think they could get through the first year, but after that, they would need help.
They may need it. Okay. I appreciate your diligence in bringing bills forward to support JLARC.
Thank you.
They do such good work.
Yes, they do good work.
Okay. Well then, it sounds like we can do or not do the clause, either way, whatever. Okay, is there a motion on the bill then? It's been moved and seconded. The bill be reported. All in favor, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
15 ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays. The bill's reported.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the committee.
Delegate Ayala. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you? Madam Chairwoman, committee members, Godfather. There is a substitute for this bill, HB 775. Wait till the clerk shares that with you.
Is there a motion to adopt the substitute?
And I'll speak to the substitute when you're ready, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Okay. This plan would allow employees of private employers who do not have access to retirement plans through their current employers to take part in the said plans through the Commonwealth. After many discussions with stakeholders and that happened over the past few years, it has been determined that the best step forward is to authorize a study to see how the Commonwealth can best implement this program. As a result, the substitute before you would allow 529 to actually do the study. And I do want to talk about the intentions behind the creation of this kind of program, but I want to offer the caveat that this specifies the retirement program would mostly be certainly be subject to the findings of 529. And behind this initiative was to establish an open state-facilitated retirement savings plan program offered to private employees in the Commonwealth who do not have access to these savings, these types of plans through their employers currently.
I'm listening.
You're always listening,
Yes,
Chap.
ma'am.
Senator Peterson, sorry.
Chap's fine. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yes. Senator Peterson.
And I'm invested in a bunch of these 529 plans,
Mhm.
so obviously I've got an interest in that. What are you asking them to look into becoming like a 401K, or what exactly are we doing here?
So it's like what they're already doing already. The 529 plans are, of course, adopted optionally through other employers, but these are private employees who are looking to do some of the same spirited retirement plans, almost the same construct as 529, what they offer.
Look, can I ask a further question?
Yes, Senator Peterson.
So the way 529 works now, and it gets deducted from not my paycheck, but from my bank account, and it goes into the 529, this would be deducted from my paycheck, and if so, would I get some type of benefit to the IRS or to the Department of Tax?
So that's what the study would determine, how kind of the logistics of it would work. And this hasn't been done yet, so this is kind of the question mark that we'll walk away with, and hopefully they'll make that determination through their study.
Because needless to say, if we can find a way to make it treatable like 401K, you're going to save me several $1,000s a year.
Well, we can
That's
pass
good.
that on to 529 and put that little buzz in their ear and be like, can you do this? But I think this is the ideal is the spirit of offering those maybe small businesses or those folks who don't offer a retirement plan the option to save. I think, savings, even in my life, has made such a difference, and having that opportunity actually, allowed me to further invest in my future as I grow numerically mature.
Senator Marsden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for my own education, was curious as to why this kind of an analysis or study is here and not in rules.
Because, Senator Marsden, we'd love you to make a decision on it. That's why we're here.
I'm sorry?
We would love for you to make a decision on this. We like you more better than the Rules Committee. At least today we do. Unless the chair sends me over to rules, then we'll have to change that comment.
Yes.
Just having a little
But
fun.
we don't make that decision anyway. It was the clerk.
Also to note, this is a Section 1 bill.
Yes, okay. Originally, I think the bill was having JLARC do the report, and they just cannot. Oh, our committee substitute would have, and they cannot do it.
Right.
In
This
the
is why
foreseeable
529
future. So this would be 529.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why we initiated the substitute.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Senator Newman.
Madam Chair, it seems like a good idea. It's going to be complex because the idea of having an individual donate, the employer is able to do it pre-tax, and this is not, and there are a lot, if you don't run a 401K program, they're expensive to operate. Yep. And so how those end up, the fees get attracted and that type of thing. To me, it's a good idea to have them go look, right?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, it's probably going to be pretty complex on how to do it.
I suspect that the study would reveal whether or not this is, and this is why we're starting just very conservatively, for lack of a better word. We're just taking our steps to do our homework and making a determination. So again, this is just a study to see whether this is viable in the Commonwealth, and I think we'll get our answer at the end of that study.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is there a motion? It's been moved and seconded that.
See, Senator Marsden, it's a great committee. Just want to be.
Sir, did you want to speak?
Sorry, I was just getting confused on where we were on the process. I want to thank the delegate for moving forward on this and making the changes with the substitute, Bob Bradshaw, with the Independent Insurance Agents of Virginia and the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. Looking forward to working with the delegate in the 529 program. And you're right with the Secure Act. There are some areas here we may be able to take advantage with some recent federal law. And so we think this is appropriate time to globally take a look at this and take some benefits out of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Patrick Cushing on behalf of the American Council of Life Insurers. Just want to thank the patron for working with us on some amendments and making sure that we do look at the Secure Act and some changes at the federal level. We were involved, ACLI was involved in a study probably 3 or 4 years ago that went through VRS looking at this same issue. Happy to work with the patron and the 529 plans to take a second look at this, but just wanted to be on your radar that there are some private retirement options that our member companies provide. And so we just want the opportunity to be able to have that discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to talk to the bill? Okay, we have a motion and a second to report the substitute. All in favor, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
I thank the committee.
Thank you.
15 ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays, the bill's reported. Delegate Van Valkenburg.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. House Bill 271 is in the same posture as Senate Bill 170, carried by Senator Locke, and is one of 3 bills related to school safety and law enforcement, and along with school resource officer training and memorandums of understanding between localities and school systems and law enforcement. And this bill is about data collection. We have school resource officers in schools, and we don't really have data on it. And so this bill is in the House budget. It has passed through the Education Committee and is now before you guys. I'm willing to take any questions you have.
Okay, are there any questions? Would anyone like to speak in favor of the bill?
Madam Chair, committee members, Amy Willard with Legal Aid Justice Center. I want to thank the patron for bringing the bill. It is identical to Senator Locke's, which passed out of the Senate unanimously. I think this is data that communities need to know, but I also think it's data that the General Assembly and the money committees should know as well. I mean, we keep putting millions into more school resource officers, and we don't really know if they're effective. We don't really know if we need to adjust that funding, whether certain localities need them, don't need them. And I think it would help tailor the trainings that DCJS is now mandated to do for all the officers. We hope you support the bill.
Thank you. Yes.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Jay Deck with the Virginia Education Association, and we also support the bill.
April, is there money since we passed Senator Locke's bill? We did not have the FIS in time for her bill, so I think we may need to put the clause on it. I'm sorry. Is there, it's moved and seconded,
Sure
the
will.
clause be added to the bill. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Is there a motion on the bill?
Move to report.
It's been moved and seconded, the bill be reported. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Fifteen ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, next in line is Delegate Rome. Yes.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and good morning to the
Good
members
morning.
of the committee here. Today I come before you with HB 341. This is a request from the Department of Social Services, so this is an agency bill. It would restore DSS's ability to provide specific outreach to DSS customers that qualify for the earned income tax credit, as well as other benefits they are eligible for. Based on a 2006 JLARC study that found that only 13% of EITC eligible DSS customers actually claimed it, DSS was subsequently mandated to provide tailored EITC outreach to DSS customers eligible for the EITC in the previous year but did not claim it. DSS had accessed limited and necessary tax information from 2006 to 2019 until the House revoked that authority. This bill will restore DSS's authority to comply with its mandated responsibility to conduct EITC outreach and will provide helpful information to assist low-income individuals and families to take advantage of benefit programs. And I do have someone from DSS who would like to speak to the bill.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Matthew Worley. I'm from the Virginia Department of Social Services, and we strongly support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, are there any questions for the delegate?
Move to report. Second.
It's been moved and seconded, the bill be reported. All in favor, record your vote aye. Opposed, nay.
15 ayes, 0 nays.
15 ayes, 0 nays. Bill's reported.
Thank you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair. Thank you to the
I'm
members.
sorry everybody's waiting so long, by the way. Delegate Krizak.
It's worth it.
Okay. Delegate Krizak.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. HB 172 would create the Virginia State Police Electronic E-System Summons Fund, which will allow the Virginia State Police to issue a fee not to exceed $5 as part of the cost in each criminal or traffic case to be used in the implementation and maintenance of this system. So a couple years ago, I was able to get funding in the budget so we could do a pilot, and it went very well. And we found a lot of positive feedback, and it really this increased accuracy, error rates went down to 0.1%, efficiency was improved, but the most important thing is it decreased the amount of time that the state troopers were on the side of the road, which obviously saves lives. And it went from 26 minutes to 10 minutes, so it's about a 60% reduction, which also frees about they found 22,000 additional work hours per year just in the pilot division. Also eliminates rubbernecking, slowing down. It's also obviously folks who are being pulled over are also on the side of the road for less time. So anyway, it's been sent to you because of the concern about the money, but I want to say 50 jurisdictions already, the local police already have this $5, and they already have the E-system, this electronic summons system. So I think it's time for our state troopers to have it. There was just an accident. One of the state troopers just this past week was hit on the side of the road, and she survived, and she's all right. I've got some pictures for you, but it's pretty graphic. The car was all destroyed, but she was luckily in the car. Had she been outside the car, she would have died.
Senator Cecil.
So if, let's say a policeman observes you speeding he doesn't have to pull you over, just issue you an e-summons?
Right now, they have when you get a ticket, if you get pulled over, and I've never been pulled over, so I don't know what it's like. But yeah, but they're just doing it's regular, pen and paper, and there's a carbon paper. A lot of my LA doesn't even know what carbon paper is. But so now if you get pulled over by a Fairfax County police officer for speeding, you will get one of these e-summonses, and it just spits it out. So there's less. So you don't have to worry about handwriting and things like that. So it's just a different kind of format for the ticket.
They stop you, right? And then what happens?
Well, I've got Wayne Huggins here. He can tell you the whole process because, as I say, I've never been pulled over. But it's just a different kind of a way of presenting the ticket to you. It's going to be an electronic ticket.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
Madam Chair?
Senator Peterson.
I'm pretty familiar. I actually had this bill 10 years ago, and what happens is that you populate a form. In other words, it's just already comes up on your system. I don't know if it's mounted on the dash or how, and I know Mr. Huggins could say that, but basically it cuts the time in about a third that you could just populate the form as opposed to writing it out by hand. And I can tell you, I know
printed out.
Deeds does the same. When you get a client comes in with one of those handwritten, you're trying to figure out what charge it is, and that's a pain too. So this is a good idea.
Senator Cecil.
So you've been pulled over. He, plugs in your driver's license, or your license plate, because he hasn't seen the driver's license, and he's got a printer in the car that pumps out the piece of paper. He hands it to you. You're on your way. He's on his way. Just like that?
Yes.
Okay.
It reduces the amount of a traffic stop, Senator, by about 60%.
Okay. All right, now I know. Okay.
And if I could add one other thought, this is a program that the state police created years ago.
Right.
And yet we are the only law enforcement agency in Virginia that is not allowed to use the program. We're not asking for anything special or anything new. We're just asking to do the same thing all of the local agencies have the authority to do, because the shoulder of the road is the single most dangerous place we perform our duties on. And I could sit here and rattle off a list of about 15 troopers who have lost their lives over the years, investigating crashes, issuing traffic summonses, helping disabled motorists. And the more time we can get off the road, it's safer for us and it's safer for the motoring public.
Is any further discussion? Is there a motion on the bill?
Madam Chair, I'll move to report. Didn't we have a version of this that went through? There's no Senate version? I think we did.
Is there a Senate version? No, there is no Senate version.
There was no Senate version. All right, well,
in the past, there has been Yeah, but not
And
this year.
I'll just move the report then.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, House Bill 172 be reported. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Thank you, Madam
you.
Chair.
16 ayes, 0 nays.
Bill passes unanimously. Delegate Sullivan. You can say finally.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I have two bills before you, one very boring, one quite heartrending. If we could start with 460, would that work, Madam Chair?
Yes.
This is a claims bill compensating Mr. Winston Lamont Scott for his wrongful incarceration. It follows the rules in the statute at 801-195 that this body created some years ago. Mr. Scott was wrongfully convicted of rape when he was 19 years old, rape and burglary. Served 5 years in prison. In March of 2019, the Supreme Court of Virginia issued a writ of actual innocence based on DNA evidence that confirmed without any doubt that he was not responsible for this crime. As you might expect, Mr. Lamont's life was profoundly affected by his incarceration. He had plans to join the Navy. He was engaged at the time of his conviction, so obviously never got married. He had, I'll just tell you what he told the Richmond Times-Dispatch. He had everything planned out. He was going to go into the Navy. I was going to get married. I was going to be a dental technologist. I was going to retire from the Navy at 39, and then I was going to go into private practice, and I'd be getting ready to retire again for a second time. But with a conviction like that, things don't work out that way. So what this bill does is provide compensation in the amount of about a little short of $160,000. The bill also makes a change to the statute that allows the General Assembly to pay this out in a situation where someone's over 60 years old, which Mr. Scott now is, in a lump sum rather than over a period of time, and this bill accomplishes that.
Okay. Are there any questions for the delegate?
I'd move to report.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 460 be reported. All in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
16 ayes, 0 nays.
16 ayes, 0 nays. Bill's reported.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The second bill, HB 1615, is the boring one. It's a bill that only a real estate secured transactions lawyer could love.
And we're trying to figure it out, so.
Well, I'd urge you not to. It has developed no opposition. It's really a clarification. This came up as a result of a recordation issue, and one clerk sort of did things differently than, frankly, what other clerks done. There is a slight little confusion in the existing law. So what this simply does is clarify that a recordation tax, which is payable on a deed of trust or a mortgage with a multi-jurisdiction credit facility, is based on the value of the Virginia property relative to the value of all property securing the facilities, if the deed of trust or mortgage secures the entire amount of the credit facility. And if it doesn't secure the entire amount of the credit facility, then it's based on a different part of the code. What it clarifies is what the amount of the recordation tax payable on a modification of a prior deed of trust or mortgage, and whether it should be exempt from recordation tax as a supplemental writing. It's a fascinating bill.
I got it.
Sort of no, you do not. But it will fix a slight anomaly in the law.
Senator Peterson.
So this
Senator
is
Peterson.
a property that's in multiple jurisdictions.
No, what it is it's a, pick a big number, $100 million loan secured by property in various jurisdictions. So the question is, 5% of it is Virginia property, 50% of it's in Maryland.
So it's what we call a wraparound deed of trust. Hold on, Deeds. A wraparound deed of trust, and you got multiple properties that secures that. Maybe one's in Fairfax, one's in Arlington, one's in Alexandria.
Madam Chair,
Chair.
what's more appropriate is if it's, part of it's in Virginia, part of it's in West Virginia, part of it's in Ohio. The deed of trust is secured by all of those properties.
Okay, but hold on.
Madam Chair, Senator Deeds
Peterson.
has that correct.
Okay, but if it's in multiple jurisdictions within Virginia, then you're paying the recordation tax. You're going to different localities to pay it, correct? Is that what this is about?
Madam Chair, my understanding, Senator Peterson, is it has more to do with foreign jurisdictions, non-Virginia jurisdictions.
Okay, all right, never mind.
Okay. We suspected what you were doing was clarifying, and I'm glad that's what you said.
It will make it clear to all of the clerks in the Commonwealth
clerks what
how
to
this should
do.
work.
Okay, is there a motion on the bill? It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 1615 be reported. All in favor, record your vote. Aye, opposed, nay.
16 ayes, 0 nays.
Bill's reported, and please don't pull it out of the block so I have to explain it.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Okay. Delegate Askew.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
I have before you all today House Bill 797, which is the House companion to Senator McPike's 392, SB 392. It was passed the Senate 40-0, but I don't believe it came in front of this committee. But as some of you may know, there was a recent discovery of elevated levels of lead found in some of our schools in Virginia Beach.
Ask,
Yes,
is
Senator
this
Dees.
bill identical to the one that came out of the Senate?
No.
I believe so. I would have to clarify with counsel.
If it didn't come before committee, I guess I can understand staff.
It did not. The Senate bill did not have the clause, and according to other staff, we funded it in our budget.
If it's identical, I'd move to report the bill.
It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 797 be reported. All in favor, record your vote. Aye, opposed, nay.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Sorry you had to wait so
16
long.
ayes, 0 nays.
16 ayes, 0 nays, bills reported. Delegate Hope.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. House Bill 1587. Before you, House Bill 1587 would allow ratings by Fitch Ratings to be used for determining whether certain investments are permissible for use for public funds. Under current law, only ratings by Standard & Poor's and Moody's Investor Service may be used. So that's all the bill does, is add Fitch Ratings.
Are there any questions? Is there a motion on the bill?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Senator Peterson.
Can someone just give some back, who is Fitch Ratings? I mean,
I brought this for the treasurer's.
okay, I was
Maybe
gonna say,
they
I
have
see
someone here
Alan
that
back
could-
there.
They're another credible ratings firm.
Madam Chair, Senator Chapman, usually in the ratings world, they refer to the big three.
Right.
These days, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, and Fitch. Between the three of them, they rate a very large percentage of the investment vehicles out there. I want to say north of 70%, 70 or 80%. We've amended the code, other sections of the code, to add Fitch in previously, for instance, the commercial paper section. These statutes have not been amended for some time. And what's happened over time, once upon a time, a ton of these investment vehicles were AAA, AA rated, that sort of thing. The percentage of investment vehicles that have the highest rating has dropped significantly.
Okay.
So you have folks like Northern Virginia Transportation Authority, for instance, who have a shrinking number of vehicles they can invest in, and that concentrates their risk. So all this does is sort of acknowledge the fact that Fitch is one of the big three, and that something that's Fitch rated in these analogous categories is a permissible investment.
And Madam Chair,
Senator Peterson.
I assume you're speaking on behalf of the treasurer.
I'm sorry, Alan Elbert on behalf of the Treasurer, Senator, who requested the bill, and the bill has been reviewed by the Department of Treasury. They asked for several technical amendments which were added in the House. No known opposition.
All right. Anyone else like to speak to the bill? Is there a motion on the bill? It's been moved and seconded. The House Bill 1587 be reported. All in favor, record your vote. Aye, opposed, nay.
15 ayes, 1 nay.
15 ayes, 1 nay. Bill's reported.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And I would ask, does that complete our docket? Yes. Then the committee will rise.